It's Friday.
Oh, thank God.
And God bless the United States of America.
Is it Friday already?
Hey, this is great, man.
Thank God it's Friday.
Looks like we made it.
If you hear Barry Manilow, you know it's Friday here on the Jerry Doyle Show. JD here. Good to have you on board. Always good to be able to roll out a Friday edition of the program with you. And if it's Friday, it seems Neil is like our kind of guest
I bring the party.
Engineer. You bring the party.
I bring the party on Friday.
About time the kids showed up, Neil. Brad, producer of the program. Neil working the dials. Emails at the website, jerrydoyle.com. Poll question up there for you today. A bit of a brain twister. Are you an intuitive or analytical thinker? I put a question up there. A bat and ball cost $1.10 total. The bat cost $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? 10 cents for the ball? 5 cents for the ball? Or $1.10? It's a package deal. 21% say 5 cents for the ball. 38% say $1.10. It's a package deal. And 40% say 10 cents for the ball is the answer. What we're going to do is we're going to drop one of the answers and do a big reveal in the third hour.
Nice.
No, I can't do that.
Yeah, at the end of the third hour.
Because if I drop one in the second hour, then we're down to one and it's over. How do we keep this party going? All right, well, what the hell? I had this all planned. It was just... Anyway, intuitive or analytical thinker. And it's interesting where this question comes from because it has to do with religion. But I will tell you right now, the 38% of you who have responded $1.10, it's a package deal, are in fact wrong. So now your choices are 10 cents or 5 cents. Your answer there for free at the website or here with the phone call at 800-876-4123 on the program where we like our flying a little turbulent, our women a little crazy, and our politics a little messy. Kicking it off here on Friday, Brad has put together some fresh flubs of the week, and like any good outtake reel in TV or film, it's always nice to show behind the scenes that aren't so behind the scenes. We're actually doing it live on the air when I mess things up.
And now, Jerry's Flubs of the Week.
Quit bath-mouthing Mitt Romney. Idiots going through the couch cushions looking for loose change this summer. A nine?
They're not interested in 999.
800-876-4112 is the number. No, it's not the number. 800-876-4123 is the number. Press 1 for this and 2 for that. Get together and figure out a way. Finger?
Pull my finger.
I'm not going to pull your finger.
Pull my finger. See what happens.
Figure out a way. Soft shell crab season. Someone who takes his... damn it.
You should run your show a little better.
Jerry's Flubs of the Week.
That's always fun to just kick it off that way on a Friday here on the program. Speaking of flubbing it, did you see the latest Secret Servicer scandal? Not the one down in Cartagena. This is the Secret Servicer scandal down in El Salvador. Secret Service team in El Salvador last year, prepping for Obama's visit, allegedly engaged in heavy drinking and sexual activity similar to escapades alleged in Colombia. Investigative reporter Chris Halsney quotes a U.S. government subcontractor saying he worked extensively with a dozen members of the Secret Service advance team and found that the majority regularly visited a popular strip club and they were wasted and or heavily intoxicated. What is it, and or? Heavily intoxicated and or wasted. So they go varying stage of inebriation. They also said that the agents paid extra for access to a VIP section of the club where they were provided, quote, a number of sexual favors in return for their cash, end quote.
Don't let the prostitutes in.
The reporter says the owner of the club confirmed that a large number of U.S. Secret Service agents and some military escorts had descended on his club a week before Obama's visit. Now, they announced last week, a few weeks ago, with regard to the Cartagena, Colombia sex scandal, that all of the 12 implicated officers and supervisors have been dealt with. 8 were forced out. 1 stripped of his security clearance. Not sure if that's the right word to use in the article, but they did. And 3 were cleared of wrongdoing, all within 2 weeks. Now, that's what I call getting something done. If we could only have the same thing happen to John Corzine at MF Global and maybe some of the crooks at Goldman Sachs and maybe a little something along the lines of the same thing for Geithner and Bernanke, we'd be getting somewhere. Now, if you recall, the Secret Servicer sex scandal in Colombia. Apparently now, Colombia's ambassador to the United States, Gabriel Silva, is asking the White House for a new and more meaningful apology for the Secret Service sex scandal. Silva contacted the White House to request that the U.S. government express stronger repudiation of the U.S. Secret Service agents who hired 21 prostitutes in the city of Cartagena earlier this month. Silva told Il Tiempo, the U.S. should apologize further. It is necessary, and I want to hear it from the White House. A more clear expression of remorse is required to protect the reputation of Cartagena. Now, apparently, Colombia's ambassador to the United Nations, Ms. Silva, decided to put these out there after an article ran in the Washington Post where they suggested that the Secret Service agents may be less to blame for the scandal than Cartagena itself, a city they described as swimming in prostitutes.
No, Jerry. We're really, really sorry. We're really sorry.
Really?
Really sorry.
Really sorry. Now, the Washington Post, you think Obama and his wife and kids, they probably read the Washington Post, right? Seeing as how they're in Washington, and the Washington Post is a lefty outfit. So the Washington Post describes Cartagena as a city swimming in prostitutes. I wonder if Obama is rethinking his comments when he was at the Summit of the Americas, when he was thanking President Santos and the people of Colombia for the extraordinary hospitality. And he said there's also maybe another reason that he was down there at the Summit of the Americas.
I want to thank President Santos and the people of Colombia for the extraordinary hospitality in the beautiful city of Cartagena. We're having a wonderful time, and usually when I take these summit trips, part of my job is to scout out where I may want to bring Michelle back later for vacation. So we'll make sure to come back sometime.
We'll be right there.
Yeah. Hey, Michelle, Cartagena, swimming in prostitutes. You know, honey, it's a little dangerous down there. I think I better go alone.
Let's bring the kids. Bring the girls.
Let's bring the kids. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to go down ahead. I'm going to scout it out. I'm going to go ahead and just make sure everything's safe. And then after I've been down there for, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 years, then I'm going to send for you and the kids. And then when I know it's safe, and only when I know it's safe, well, then I feel it's time for you and the family to get on that big old jet airliner. Got to rethink that. Swimming in prostitutes. The Washington Post. I love this one. It's not so much the Secret Service agent's fault as it is the city of Cartagena, which is just a giant whorehouse. And of course we know the Secret Service, their motto is wheels up, rings off. That's pretty much how they fly these days. You know, it's like, look, I don't care. I really don't care. Prostitution's legal in Cartagena. I think in the entire country of Colombia, and for most part, anything south of the equator. But it's like, you know, everybody gets all wigged out over Obama redoing the Oval Office in shades of taupe, the audacity of taupe. I don't care if he has throw pillows, a disco ball, and a hookah. If he's doing the right thing, you can do whatever you want to do. The Secret Service seems to get things done, but now apparently they're looking into this culture of corruption that we have to put to rest once and for all, and we have to get rid of that boys will be boys mentality because we can't have that happening. Yeah. Can you imagine how many congressional delegations have been lined up to go down to Cartagena now to investigate the Secret Servicer scandal? We have to have the House Committee on Inside Oversight investigating. Oh, did you know?
I got to go see the hotel room the Secret Service men were in.
Can you see Henry the Nostrils Waxman, trying to run that one by his wife? Honey, I have to go to Cartagena. Yeah, okay. You right there. Wheels up, rings off, Congress to the rescue. Oh, speaking of flying, did you see Ann currying favor with the not so wealthy on NBC? She was talking about the unfairness, obviously shilling for Obama, who won't bring the family anytime to Cartagena. She was doing an interview with this lefty out of Harvard named Michael Sandel on the Today Show. And she described people being able to pay more money to get through airport security faster as an inherent unfairness to it. And it's about those with money that have an easier life than those who don't. So this lefty out of Harvard put some different moral dilemma questions to Ann Curry and others on the show. And basically it was an indictment of anybody who has any more money than anybody who has any less money than the people who have money. But the airline ticket dilemma came up, and Ann Curry said this: I'm not sure I think it's fair. It's something I've done, and I have to say that I always feel guilty about it. I mean, you're paying for a service, but one time I came out of a plane and I was in first class one time, and they stopped everyone who was in coach from even exiting the plane until we all got out. And I just wanted to put a bag over my head. I'm just going to let that go. It just feels there's a sense of I'm kind of better than you are, and I just don't think it's right. Al Roker, the weatherman, a fellow Xavier high school attendee, he actually graduated, I think, with a good grade. He said, but don't we also teach our kids in a sense that life isn't always fair? And then Ann Curry demanded America level the playing field. Ann Curry just feels guilty about flying first class. Well, just don't fly first class again. I mean, if you feel that guilty.
Or buy first class tickets for poor people.
No, here's what you do. See, what she's complaining about is that the people who have to stand in the coach line to go through security, and there's the speeded up line for the people who fly first class, that's one of the reasons I pay the extra money, is because I don't like waiting in lines. It has nothing to do with class warfare or fairness. I just hate being held up in a line. I hate waiting. It's just my life is just whipping by me. So here is my solution to the problem. What you do is, if you fly in coach, which I typically can do for about 3 hours or less, 4.5 or 5 is starting to push it. Overseas, forget about it. It's business of first, and if I can't afford to pay for it, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to fly coach 15.5 hours from L.A. to Sydney. I'm just not going to do it. And it doesn't matter. If you're in the seat next to the toilet in the back of the 747, you're miserable on takeoff. Sooner or later, misery works its way all the way up to the front of the plane. You just get miserable later in the flight than the people who get miserable sooner in the flight, because you're on a plane for 15.5 hours. Now, if you want to take advantage of the first class check-in for security and you're flying coach, all you do is you go get a ticket, a full fare first class ticket for a flight on a different airline that's leaving around the same time that your flight is leaving on out of the same terminal. And then you go through the first class security checkpoint. When you get through and you've checked in for your flight and you're on your flight, then you cancel the full fare first class ticket. It gets credited back to your credit card with no fees or penalties because it's a full fare ticket.
The Jerry Doyle Show.
Then you have the advantage of first class full fare privileges at the price of coach. Huh?
There you go. You learned something.
I'm just here to offer some help. Ann Curry. One time I flew first class. I know Ann Curry from way back in the old days of the Santa Ynez Valley, hanging out with Michael Douglas. She is a phony. She's all about first class all the time, but she's trying to Ann Curry favor with the little people. And she thinks she needs to put a bag over her head. Maybe we should put a bag over the numbers with regard to the economy. Dr. Richard Eberling is going to join us at the bottom of the hour to talk about the latest stats on our slow go, no go economic recovery. A lot to get to on Friday here on the program. Jerry Doyle, stick with me.
The Jerry Doyle Show.